dear diamonds in the rough. Alright, guys. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the Gitignore and how can you set rules to prevent committing certain files to your local and remote Git repositories. So, Gitignore. So it may show some there where you can see a collection of useful Gitignore templates. Those were free and you can use whenever you want. You know, uh, those were from GitHub GitHub team, and you can see what is Kidignore. I think this documentation will help you to understand what is Kidignore and how can you set rules to prevent the files from committing. So here you go. So the first thing first, let's bring up terminal. Here you go. Let me go over there and let me create this stuff I think is useless. Uh, so Control C. So we're in another position. So let me go here and paste the. Why does it showing like this? Hmm. So change that to the desktop. To do that, I'm gonna paste the copy path and paste over here. Hmm. This will do. The next thing I'm gonna do is to create a directory. Uh, do that and name it as you know. Uh, what do you think? What is the best thing that best name I can give? That'll be um, mm, thinking. Uh, AJ. Oh, there's a file AJ. Okay. AY. There's so files been successfully created over here. You can see, and I'm gonna change to the AY, and I'm gonna create a new few test files that are touch file 1.txt touch file 2.txt touch file 3.txt, and next thing I'm gonna create is completely different. That will be a secret.txt secrets.txt. So so I want so it is really important to think about some of these things to be aware of what you are putting on to this public platform, such as DS Store. DS Store is just file settings for our directory. We don't want others to see it, right? And the other thing is secret files such as passwords and API keys. We don't others to see it, right? So that's why we got use Gidug not to uh, set some rules to prevent committing that. So next thing we're going to do is to create a gitignore file. To do that, type exactly as I type. So the command is touch dot ignore. So make sure you're not making any typos and open that code dot git ignore. Here you go. This is one, and also code secrets.txt. Here there were passwords passwords there, and API API keys and some of the secret stuff here you can see. And so let me show you what happens when you don't have anything inside the Kirignor. And I'm gonna throw a normal process of getting and committing it. First, if you remember how we can use Git in it, right? Let's initialize that Git init. So initialize the empty Git repository. So the next thing we're going to do is to add files to the staging area. To do that, we're going to use git add. Uh, if we wanted to add all the files, what you're going to do is to use dot. This will add everything inside the directory to the staging area. So let's check the status. Git status. So here you can see those four files all were in the tracking position, right? And that means they were in the what's called ready to commit. Those files are, and those were all in the staging area. So first thing first, I'm gonna undo what I have done. So I'm going to remove all these files from the staging area, and I'm going to add later on once I got my git ignore set up. Basically, we're just undoing the last step. So to do that, I'm gonna use git rm dash dash catched and use the my dash r flag for recursive, and I'm gonna use a dot to say that everything inside the current directory should be removed from the staging area. So let's use that. The command is git rm dash dash catched and minus r, and this for everything. And here you go, remove git ignore, remove file 1, file 2, file 3, secrets.txt. And uh, so those files are no longer tracked to be committed. So now this is the point we're going to use the git ignore. uh, so let's check the status. Git status, here you can see those are all untrackable because they were not in the staging area. uh, So we're going to add some of the file names that we wanted to be ignored when you're adding and committing to Git. So let's open the git ignore and write such as the files that you don't want others to see is. So if you wanted to ignore ds store, what you have to do is write exactly as it is. Ds store, we got write exactly as the ds and store. This will do. And the other stuff that I don't want others to see is secret file. To do that, you know let me show you. Mm, if we wanted to specify other one, we got to specify in the another new line. So with the git ignore, so you can use pound sign to comment. Let me show you. Secret passwords files, that is secrets secrets.txt. Here you go, secrets.txt. And yeah, another another thing you can add, you can do is wild wildcards. So if you wanted if you use asterisk, let me show you how it will show. Asterisk and .txt, what it will do is to remove all the .txt extension files from your staging area. So keep that in mind. This will be a game changer, or this will be a very important for you whenever you wanted to remove some certain files or some certain type of files. So you can use JS or Node JS or HTML, whatever. So this will be important. Let's comment it out. Uh, Here you go. This working fine. So, all right. I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't want to commit file 123 to Git, but I wanted to ignore the dsto and the secret.txt files. Now we're ready to add our files to our staging area. So let's again use the git add. Hmm, so everything's ready, I guess. Let's save here and add git add dot. Here you go. Let's check the status to see what's been added. Git status. Here you can see there wasn't any secret.txt file, right? So it's working exactly uh, as we have thought. So the files secret.txt are ignored as per as the specifying in our git ignore file. So let's move to the next step. Now if I can go ahead and commit to this, let me commit git commit minus m and initial commit. If I commit, here you go, then the only file that are going to be put on to my local commit and git commit minus m initial commit. And similarly, if I push this github, it will also be only these four files. Okay, I hope you guys have understand. Let me show the git log. Okay, initialized. So let's practice the same thing by using there's a text. Oh, I guess I gotta remove this. Oh no, I gotta add this into some file. HA. Okay, success. And there's a download. There will be a text file, and I'm going to extract it. Mm, so let's get practice with the Node.js. Now let's open a new Node project oh, that named as text and paste it in the desktop. So we don't need to change the location. So that's why. Mm, Control S V. Here we go. Text 2 will be here on top here, and I just wanted to change the name. Name looks doesn't good, right? So now it's fine. So let's clear the screen. Clear. So we're in the AY. So change the location to backward. Now we're in the desktop. We're going to go into the test to TEST. So we're in here and check the files whatever inside. There are Max, CX, index.js, package.js, JSON, public. There are a bunch of files inside over here. You can see index.html and there's public. Here's the index.html. Uh, uh, what I'm going to do is next I'm going to install the npm modules. To do that, npm I. So this will install the you know, npm modules. I hope you guys have already remember because we have done in our previous videos, right? Mm, it will take some time to install because it will be mm, whatever. Let's refresh the page, and you can see node modules. There are a bunch of node modules over here just now installed from the online. The size is 2.8. I thought it would be much more than that. Okay. Let's open the gitignore file. Uh, let's create a gitignore first of all. To do that, we're going to use touch.gitignore. This will do. Git ignore, yes. And open that. Let's remove this bastard over here and code.git ignore. Uh, yes, it's correct. Let's go to the github.com. Let me show you. Hmm, github.com, github, git store. Guess this will work. Oh my, github.com, github, git store. Oh my, git store, git ignore. Uh, Here we go. Uh, a collection of useful git ignore templates. Uh, so this is a replit owned by the GitHub team. They have replets called Gitignore, and it's basically a pre-made collection of useful Gitignore templates. And if you search in here, you can find that you have. Let me find. Let me search. Oh my! There's a bunch of code. It took S P Q R S T U V W X Y. There will be N. Go to the U V L M N O P R. Okay, fine. O. Here we go. You'll find the node ignore files, right? Node ignore template, whatever. This is a pre-built template for some of the files that you probably don't want to upload to your GitHub or anything, another, any other remote repository. So these have the file extension for that node modules or environment setting, and it's basically all pre-made for you, and you can use simply just by copy all of these files. Let me show you. Let's go. Here you can see those are all pre-built, and this kind of the files that you don't want others to see. So mm, let's copy it. Copy the raw file. Okay, copied, and I'm gonna paste over here. You can see pound sign represent the comment. These are all logs, and this one, and I just wanted to add another one that is called dstore that we have discussed in the, before. That is dot ds store. So everything's fine. uh, and we're going to go inside the text folder, and we're going to do git init. Let's go initialize the git init. We haven't done, right? We're in the text, and git init initialized, and next thing we're gonna do is to git add. So git add warning in the working copy of index1.js replaced by craft next, and You can see there's an error over here came from the nowhere. Mm, let's add it again. Git add dot. So now everything's successful. Uh, so next thing we're going to do is to check the status. What files I have added. Git status. Here you can see these were all the files that can added to that, excluding the files. So now we're gonna commit by using the git commit and send initial commit. So this will do git log. This will show and now once you're ready to commit and add your all of your remote, then it will ignore all of the common user related file that you're not going to useful to your collaborators or anybody who wants to contribute on GitHub. That was just a quite a that was just a quite a tidbit about using the git ignore, and make sure that when you are uploading your projects with those secret keys and passwords, to make sure that you set up a gitignore file and to include those things there. All right, so that's all for this lesson. In the next lesson I wanted to talk about git clone and how to clone various repositories to your local system. So for all of that and more in the next lesson, so I'll see you there. So bye guys, let's stop this. And we succeeded learning uh, this one. I hope you guys have fun.